When I gave birth to my first child, right, and then there was some complications, so I didn't tell her all the way until the night that I had to deliver. And then she was very upset that for the last like 3 trimesters, which is like almost 39 weeks, I didn't tell her the news.
Welcome everyone to the Money Mind YouTube channel, where today we are trying out a brand new format, podcast. And what better way to kick things off than to have a discussion about Mother's Day. So today on the show, we have 2 mothers, Yvonne and myself, Alicia, as well as Glenn, who recently got married, and Charmaine, who is still single and ready to mingle. Today, we want to discuss mothers' contributions to their families and whether we do enough to appreciate them. So I guess we can start things off by sharing, what are you guys doing for Mother's Day?
I'm just having a simple dinner at home because I asked my mom, you want to eat out or you want to eat at home? And then he's like, bring the kids out, the babies generally.
Right.
Very troublesome, so let's eat at home. I said, I totally agree, let's do it at home. So we're having a simple dinner at home.
I do not know if I will celebrate on the day itself, no booking is done, but based on the past few years, we will be eating out. So me and my 2 elder brothers will be like treating our parents this meal. Just for the audience, we are very filial type.
Yeah, we love our moms a lot.
We just haven't booked only. Okay, this shot is probably like doing weeks before, actually like few days only. So by the way, do you think Mother's Day at today is very overrated when we are about gender equality and I'm the only male? So much about gender equality.
I don't think I've celebrated Father's Day before. But that's because my father works overseas and he's quite old school, so I don't even think Father's Day is a big thing in his calendar. Maybe only Chinese New Year.
Maybe he
and
secretly wants it, but then y'all didn't do it.
Maybe maybe I try this year. Happy Father's Day, Pa. Yeah, I think he'll be like, only one from me. But I guess I won't say it's overrated because we celebrate Father's Day too, and if we're looking at it from a marketing standpoint, then definitely we do see more action during Mother's Day. But that, I feel, is because of what females in general like. They like jewelry, bags, flowers that
Easier
for the retailers to work with. But for the fathers are like fishing. All the fishing shop goes crazy only. I mean, it's usually an activity. It's not something that you can sell, like, oh, go to a shop, there's a discount.
In fact, I got a statistic from Oprah Daily, which is back in 19th. So this is a US report lah. So they actually calculated our dear old dad. That day itself, we only spent $16 billion, while as for moms, it's 25 billion. So you can see the number. Moms are better in terms of Mother's Day marketing. There's another report saying that, based on one of the interviewers, that said that mothers generally is easier to buy gifts. They accept like flowers, jewelry, breakfast in beds. I think this is a US thing. Then, while that probably seems to be tackled like Father's Day trophy. I don't know if anyone get that. So
I think in general, fathers require less physical,
less maintenance.
That could be the same for just in relationships in general.
Actually, I got a very interesting one. Talking about flowers, right? Do you know, it says here, red or pink carnation symbolizes living mother. White carnation symbolizes a mother who has passed. So don't go and buy white flowers for your mothers.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you think mothers in Singapore are appreciated enough? Do you appreciate your moms enough?
So what do you think, Shan?
I guess I do, but in general, I am not sure. For myself, my mom is someone who is very simple, very practical. You don't need to buy her flowers or like, she don't need surprises. Yeah, so usually my brother and I, we will just bring her out for a meal. Yeah.
I don't guess. I believe so. Okay. If you are a mother, your child do something for you, as long as they do something you feel appreciative. I don't know about some other moms. I don't know is there anyone up there that is like, no, I don't want to celebrate, waste money. I'm not happy. So probably these two mothers you all can share with me.
Like, I think, so mothers in Singapore, right? I think it's too broad a population, but I'll say for maybe myself, whether mothers in my families, maybe, I do think that they are very well appreciated by family. But again, appreciation also goes beyond the yearly giftings. So I think it's more important that people still look after their mother on the other days.
Yeah.
So it cannot be, wow, Mother's Day, fancy meal, fancy flowers, spend a bomb, take Instagram, oh, Mother's Day, hashtag, all that kind of thing. But then the other 364 days, your mom, if you're living with your mom is still cleaning after you, and if you're married but you still don't look after your mom, whatever lah. It's important to still look after your mom on the other days.
I totally agree. I mean, I feel appreciation is very subjective in a sense because every family upbringing is different, right? So some are more vocal, then they're more expressive. Then they'll go, oh, I love you, ma, I love you. Then I hug you, that kind of stuff. But then for me, my family is very traditional. Like we don't do that.
You just look at each other and then your mother will know like.
I guess it's the new generation, like the older generation.
Yes.
It's so awkward to, oh, I love you, you know? But then again, one incident really struck me was when I gave birth to my first child, right? And then there was some complications, so I didn't tell her all the way until the night that I had to deliver. And then she was very upset that for the last 3 trimester, which is like almost 39 weeks, I didn't tell her the news. Then she called my husband and said that like I'm very disappointed, not say disappointed, but just very sad that I don't know why Yvonne don't seem like she can share this news with me. Like I would want to know. So then I realized, actually,
your mom cares for you.
This manner, in this sense, I feel like I should have been more thoughtful. But to me, I was just like, don't dare to say. So if you want to think about appreciation, I feel it's like what you say, it's not a one-day thing. It has to be a constant thing that you think of your mom and then be more sensitive. And then show appreciation in that sense.
What about as a mom? Since both of you are like mothers right now, anything that a young child do for you, then?
I think because my kids are 4 years old and 2 years old, right, I feel that very hard for me to expect anything from them. But I guess then maybe if your kids, fathers out there who are watching, if your kids are that young, then maybe you'll need to do a little bit more for now, I feel. Because 4 years old and 2 years old, unless, other than writing cards lah, I mean cards are definitely very sweet, but if you want to take a dinner and everything, the 4-year-old is not going to plan anything. So it's up to the father to do something.
So are you suggesting that the dad from young brainwash the kid to celebrate Mother's Day?
No, I think it's an upbringing thing. So like just now Yvonne mentioned, her family is very traditional, they don't do this. So if there's no culture right from the beginning, then there's nothing to celebrate. But if the father comes in to like, let's celebrate this is the day, and the mother for Father's Day, likewise, then the children will grow up thinking that
we don't need to celebrate.
We need to celebrate.
There's only Father's Day. By the way, is your parents like a stay-home mom or working mom? Let's start from Yvonne.
Mine is a stay-home mom. So I've always had the experience of like, my mom take care of me the whole day, and then she would play with me. She would even guide me through my homework. Like even homework, I thought it was quite a nice thing, like a nice experience that somebody is sitting with you to do homework together, right? Then I always have like breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home for me. So I think that experience was very and how to say, I think I felt like it was very warm. So I think as like my mom has always been full-time, not full-time. All moms are full-time. What am I talking about? Stay-home mom, right? So I really like the idea of a family or somebody that I can go home to. Which now when I have my own family, I mean, I always had the idea that when I have my own family, I would want to provide the same experience to my kids. Like I think it's very bad if let's say I throw my kids to the helper or my in-laws, for example, or my moms to take care of them. So in that in that way, it kind of, when I was young, it made me decide, that it made me thought very hard about the kind of career that I want to be. Because we all know not all jobs allow you to do that. And then I came from a hospitality background.
Yeah.
Hospitality, obviously, 24/7, right? Hotels
Yes.
don't close, right? It works 24/7. So when I had a taste of how that was like, then I think, wow, if 10 years from now I got 2 kids, I cannot expect myself to be working at night. So that's where I think with that change of career objective, and then I managed to somehow land myself in the career where I am right now. With that flexibility, I can choose to meet my clients at a certain time that I want, or that it fits my kid's schedule, right? So that is really something I think I kind of enjoy being like stay home, part working. I mean, yeah, added stress of having both at the same time, but at least I am willing to compromise to be able to provide that nurturing environment for my kids lah. How about yours?
My mom works full-time, so growing up, we don't see her much. Not like she's away or anything, but in the daytime when in school, she's working. She had to rush home to prepare dinner for us, my siblings and all. So I feel that that's quite a big burden, and she did it without complaining all these years. Then even going to parent-teacher conference, all that, taking leave. I feel that it's quite disruptive. I mean, last time when I was younger, I thought, oh, my teacher needs to see my parents once a year. Once a year only, what? But for every kid once a year, that's just a lot to take time off.
I think it's not a burden lah. It's more like a love, yeah.
I guess lah. But for me now, if sudden, to me last time when I was younger, I feel like, oh, it's normal. But when it comes to me having to take time off to do that now, I feel like, wow, it's like true love.
True love.
Why would you rush to and fro every day? It drives a person nuts.
But you still do so. Yeah.
No choice, you give birth to them.
No choice. I'm trying to paint a positive light to both of the moms lah, but they are not trying to get it. But okay, so my mom is actually a working mom. She provides tuition classes. Like her income is all spent in tuition classes for all my siblings. Like example, like math, English, like my brother
You're
even.
not very smart, I need tuition.
Yeah, probably I'm not that smart. But I think parents always want the best potential of it. Probably I'm this smart, I could be a lot smarter. Just like everyone.
So what's the ROI?
ROI?
All
The
the money
ROI
she
is I
pump
find
in.
Worth it or not?
Yeah, worth it or
not?
not?
I think there's no worth it.
Oh,
Okay,
Yeah.
Does it translate?
As in from a guy's point of view, right? The ROI is imparting this value to the next generation. Yeah, this is how I feel. But I don't have kids yet lah, so let's see.
all your money.
to your children next time.
So I impart this value to my wife to pump all the money in. Hey! So I mean, like, I will try to do my best to support the family. So of course my dad is also working, so he supports the family while as my mom is able to do this. So dads are equally important. I must support the male side of this conversation, yeah.
Alright.
So but moms are equally fantastic. Yeah.
Agree.
Would you prefer your mom to be at home with you all day, or you are okay and comfortable with what?
I'm okay and comfortable with her, with just spending time with her over the weekend and in the night, like weekday nights when she comes home, you know.
Too much is not good.
Yes, I would
Too much
agree.
of everything is not good.
Yes.
I would like some space.
I love my mom. Come into my space.
Someone different.
Mother's Day video must say Mother's damn good.
I think because I grew up like that, I cannot imagine if my mom is
24/7.
Yeah, I think it'd be a bit much.
What would have been different if, let's say, she is there 24/7?
More scoldings.
More scolding,
More nagging.
more nagging.
Girl, your
Yeah,
clothes all over the floor.
correct. And after school, you must
Do your
homework.
Come home. Now I can, like last time, I still can take my time to come home, go and drink bubble tea with my friends.
Oh, yes.
As long as you're home by a certain time, it all's good.
That's true, because my mom is always at home. So I have a certain time I need to be at home after school.
Right.
Okay.
And then I don't go out on my own until maybe Sec 1, Sec 2. other days in primary school it's like, oh, 放学 go home, then walk home. Because my house so near to the school, right? It's like what, 10, 15 minutes walk. Anything later, then you know that's it. I'll get like questioned. Where you go? Huh? You go some avoid that.
This 400 meter take you 20 minutes to walk.
Yeah.
If given a choice, would you want to be a stay-home mom?
Wow.
So that your kid can come home and see you every day and have food on the table.
I think they want to see me, but maybe I don't want to see. It takes a lot out of you to want to stay home and take care of your kid, because they are attention-seeking buggers lah. They're like, mommy, you go toilet also they knock on your door. That kind. So you really, literally don't have space on your own, which will drive you crazy. Imagine 24/7 like that, you know.
What do you think are the pros? Since you are mentioning all the so-called
Pros I definitely would be more on track on like my kids' milestone. Making sure that they're eating proper cooked food and not like just anything that maybe the helper or whoever is feeding them. And then like I think you spend more time nurturing them more like because I somehow for my kids like they definitely listen to the parents more than the grandparents or the helper. So if we are there, then we will be able to do more like nurturing stuff, more meaningful things like science experiment.
Wow, sounds so loving, Sandy. Just now was like, oh, so stressed, they so nuisance.
It's stressful because you have to think of different activities for them throughout the whole day. Like after they wake up, what are they gonna do? They cannot be just watching TV, right? So you need to think, oh, maybe I'll bake together with them. And then, all these you need to think for like every single day during that lockdown. So I need to do activities with them, homework, when we buy bathtub and then play with toys at home, fishing, that kind of stuff. So it's really 24/7, you gotta think of things for them to do, which I think is very stressful as a stay-home mom. At work you don't have to, you switch off computer, then that's it, yay, At home you can't switch off.
But as a working mom, is there any pros? It seems like at the start you're mentioning like working mom is like, oh, it's fantastic.
It's just that you get that time off from your kid. Like you really can switch off and say, okay, this time is for work and I don't think about the kids. But it's like a good maybe 6 hours only. Then you go back and you realize, hey, I still got to think of the kids. And then at the same time think of the work.
Given a choice, which would you choose? Working mom or stay-home mom?
Hazel, when you grow up, you watch this video.
Tough choice.
Please keep this clip.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. You? What do you think?
I'm not so much in a dilemma. For hands down, I will choose to be a working mom.
Okay.
Because my kids drive me nuts.
Sage.
I mean, I love them, but
24/7.
to face them 24/7 is a different thing altogether. And 2 weeks ago, we were down with COVID. So the whole household, we were just stuck
Together. In it together.
But then I realized that as a mother, I have to think about, oh, what should I cook?
Right.
Then like what Yvonne said, what activity to do, science things. I'm like, I have to think about all this. Until then I thought, okay, the kids are not well, maybe I cook porridge. Then my son told me, why are we eating porridge every day?
Oh, no.
I thought like your throat not well, I give you porridge. Like
You complain.
very love, right? Ask me why porridge every day. I think,
It's not easy.
ask me do this for a lifetime, right? Wow, cannot.
You don't
I might
eat.
smack the kid. Like that, I think mad respect for full-time moms who have like they need it's their job to think of like what food to put on the table and then what groceries to buy. Then after that have to set aside time to do homework. I think the do homework part is also a killer.
But don't you do that already? I mean, if there's no COVID, you also have to do that one.
But working time is the time off for me. So when I work, I'm talking to adults. There is no need to shout. There is no need to argue. It's just very logical. I mean, not all adults are logical, but usually the flow of the conversation is smoother. The kids usually you take 1 step. 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards.
You
2 steps forward, 1 step
based on what they are thinking.
Yeah, so it's very tiring. I think I don't have the energy to. That 2 weeks alone was enough to like whack me dry.
So it's clear for you. You will not be a full-time
I don't
stay-home
have
mom.
no dilemma at all for me.
Okay.
What about you? As a single, what is your ideal path?
My ideal path. I'm quite a traditional person, so when much younger, I thought of settling down at a young age, like 25, 26, but
You're past that age.
yeah, exactly. Okay, but for me, definitely, I would want to have my own family, my own, and have kids. Yeah, I love playing with people's kids.
Will you consider
I
to
would.
leave your job if you have a kid?
Okay, I will not leave my
The
job.
boss will say no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will not leave my job for the kids. Yeah, I would do half-half.
Just
Yeah.
work around it lah, no
Yeah.
choice.
But I kind of think our job is also quite flexible.
Yes.
So I have mad respect for parents who are like 9 to 6, or I mean nowadays who work 6, right? They'll be like 7, 8, bring back laptops, we must do work kind.
Yeah.
So like they have to work and then they got to rush back to bring their kids home from school.
Yeah.
And then they have to still like take care of the kids at night. So every day it's like that. But
Yeah.
for us, we are rather flexible in a sense. We can still like schedule your appointments, right? So if the kid is sick, you know, you can like, oh, okay, I'll take some time off to do work. There's no like fixed time you have to go to office.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
Our job does offer some sort of flexibility lah, but it's without a doubt the kids still need us
Yeah.
quite extensively, not just on like normal food, but education, just even spending time, the play, all this, just really very time consuming.
It really takes a village to grow, to raise a child.
I think the good thing now is that women, we do have a choice. Most of us.
Agree.
I think it used to be a blanket thing where a lot of parents you see in our maybe our generation or the generation before, mothers all tend to stay home. But now we really do have a choice. And I think just having that choice alone is a big step for women.
Because I think in the past they were pressured to have to stay home. If not, then you're deemed as like, oh, not taking care of your kid.
Yes,
Sort
yeah.
of like,
Yeah.
So it's not fair in the sense like, oh, if my husband goes out to work, then that is him taking care of the family. But then if I don't work, I mean, if I go back to work and then mothers will be deemed as they don't take care of the family. It's not fair lah. So I think now we are in a better place.
Right.
Being
So
such
given the
fortunate
choice.
situation, as mothers, what is your favorite and least favorite?
Being like favorite and least favorite part of being a mother.
Yes.
Favorite.
The 9 months in your tummy.
I think you're having some
I mean,
difficulty.
it is very cute and all. They grow up and you know that you are the first person that they go to.
Right.
Right?
Sure?
Yeah, I mean, everything at night crying, mommy, mommy. I mean, if you think about it lovingly, rationally, you're like,
Right.
my kid needs me. I am the one the kid calls at midnight. But when you're not logical, it's like, please don't call me.
Like, can you call your papa?
Yeah, like you just want to fit into the background, like, don't call me, don't call me.
When they are crying,
Yeah,
making
but-
a fuss.
Correct. So I guess for me, the favorite part is that you get to journey with them, you know them
Okay.
inside out and everything. But the least favorite part is when they're having a meltdown. So I think as maybe last time, before we were mothers, then you look at other kids throwing tantrum, then you'll be like,
I agree.
like I mean, I gotta be honest. When I was younger, I totally judged the parents. Like, can you please teach or not? Then you let
some manners, right?
your kid lying on the floor like that, please. Then now when I grow up,
Your own
and
kid
then my
lying on the
own
floor.
kid,
Go ahead.
wow. No, I feel like that's not what I taught. So it's not very fair if people look at me and say, hey, you never teach her. I mean, I teach her, but I don't know why my kid like that. And it's not something that you can just walk away.
Yeah.
Like, my kid like that, okay, walk away. Like, you know, nowadays very new age, you have to talk to the kid, reason with the kid,
Yes.
then what, have to find closure. I feel like that's what I need to do now, but innately and my own instinct is like, get off the floor. Bye-bye. But because now I'm a mother, I have to deal with that. I have to find it in me to deal with that.
Yeah.
Inner search.
Yeah.
So search.
Have to really dig them deep. Like, oh.
Sometimes you can't find.
Sometimes I just like, kill me now.
It's really not easy to be parents. Having to deal with children's meltdown.
Yeah. I think now really I have mad respect for parents.
Right.
Like even when I see other children like flipping there like a fish now, then I just look at the parent and like, 加油.
You relate to them.
Yeah, I relate.
100%.
Like, I don't judge them anymore. I just feel like I pass you all my energy. I hope you settle this ASAP. All the best.
What about Yvonne?
My least
Yeah.
favorite part, I gotta agree with Alicia. My least is definitely, there are a lot of times where your kid is like, it's just damn, like, you know, you just want to squeeze the shit out of them.
Take their mouth.
But then like what Alicia said, you know, you cannot exhibit violence, right? Not they will
Right.
they will like learn from you and then exhibit that as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have to be honest. I did certain like not that great stuff, which I will know. I'll hit, I will punish, I will shout and all that. Which I realized, Azel actually picks it up. And then when he's angry, that's how he would react to. Which I think, okay, partly our fault for showing that, because if not, he wouldn't have learned that this is the right way or this is the way to be, right? So
Yeah.
I think the least part is that, like, no matter how angry, how mad you are, you got to control the emotions, right? Like, really control and then tell yourself, like, okay, calm down. And then after that, deal with the kid. And then still tell them and reason with them, what they did is wrong. Which obviously they don't agree, right? They'll like keep questioning why, and then they'll argue back and all that. You just want to slap them, but you cannot slap. You must hold it there. Then you still must
have a lot of patience.
Yeah, then you must have a lot of patience. Which like, yeah, that's really like the least favorite
Do you
part.
think that has changed your motherhood? Has changed your personality or perspective?
Yeah.
Or anything changed now?
I guess it makes me more patient. Yeah. Yeah.
But are you a kid person to begin with?
Yeah, I was. I mean, okay, my life, not lifelong, like ever since I was mature enough, I knew that I wanted kids and I want it before 30. I don't know whether 30 was an ideal age then. Now you think about it, having kids at 30, not many, or in fact, people are like, 30 so early,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But then like, I did it then. Like, I'm 31, right? I'm done already. I just want to close shop and then that's it. I have 2 kids, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
so
right.
but maybe they say like you picture where you want in the future, then you achieve it somehow miraculously.
Manifest.
Seeing is believing.
Is this a common thing that like before 30, is there some kind of pressure in Singapore that
No, it's just based on me. I've always
alright.
loved kids. Like I was a auntie since very young. Like I have nephew and nieces all running around me. Like they will come into my room and they're like, "Go, wake up, I'm okay." They can climb over me, I'm okay. I know there are some people who hates it, but I'm okay. So like I really wanted kids. I really love kids. So to me, I wanted family early. Yeah, so no, but I think now there's no such pressure lah. There are so many people who don't have
I
kids.
also don't actually think that there's a pressure these days. Maybe for older, more traditional families, but just looking at my own family and the friends around me, most of my friends they're married without kids by choice.
Yeah.
By choice.
Agree.
So I don't think there's a pressure lah.
it's like a been there, done that? What about you? Been there, haven't done that.
Do you feel that pressure though?
Do you feel that pressure like?
Not really. I do have friends around my age. They are telling me that they don't want to have kids. They already made up their mind. If have, don't have. It's not like in the past, you married already, you must have kids. Yeah, but for them it's like, okay, I don't want to have kids. Yeah. So,
But for yourself, like just now you mentioned that you saw yourself being married by
Starting a
25,
family,
26.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now that you are around there, soon to be beyond that line,
Stop reminding her.
like do you feel the pressure from your family or even yourself? Do you still have that pressure in you?
no, definitely not. Like
Okay.
my parents are very free. Like
Okay.
they don't really pressure me. So, but for myself, I am a person who likes like big family.
Okay.
Like get to sit together and then enjoy the time together. So I definitely want kid myself.
Okay.
Yeah. But for Glenn, since you're newly
I'm not
married,
a woman, okay? But if I'm a woman,
You can answer the question as a man. Don't need to be a woman.
so I think
Yeah.
I
feel
see from a
pressured.
scientific perspective lah. I think at this current age, we are independent women and men.
Okay.
Okay, I think the pressure is not really there. There's not much pressure from our parents, our family members and whatnot like the past. They mean the world to us. But right now, I think the pressure is usually external, like social media. We are so washed by the social media. Every day in, day out in our phone, we swipe. We reach a certain age, they start feeding us maternity stuff. And subconsciously, we are telling ourselves that we need to pressure ourselves that probably it's time.
But you feel pressured by all this social media content?
As a guy, I'm not lah. I seldom do the social media style. But I think social media really influence, especially us young adults, in many stuff. Like example, like buying stuff for your mother. It's because of all this social media marketing that we
There's a certain expectation.
yes, there's an expectation. It's like, other people buy this for the mom, and maybe I should show appreciation. And yeah, lor. So it's not easy, but everyone got their own individual thoughts about this lah.
But let's say if like, okay, so for example, when I got married the first couple of years, right, then your relatives or your in-laws were like, hey, hurry up, Len, you know, I want to have a kid. So there's that subtle pressure, though they don't say it, but you know they are waiting for it.
Yes.
Do you, I mean, I don't know whether you feel it, but your in-laws probably might.
I did get those questions, but I didn't see as they were pressurizing me. More of I feel like maybe in that traditional mindset, it's very natural, like get married, right? The next progression is there.
Right.
So to me, it's like maybe they have nothing much to say, especially Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year, you meet these people only 1-2 times a year. I feel like we cannot expect them to have like meaningful, deep conversations. Nobody's gonna have that kind of time to go into that kind of depth. So it's very natural for people to just ask, oh, I expecting soon? Oh, when? So I don't feel pressure. To me, it's just I see them as just conversation fillers.
Right. But my mother-in-law,
She did.
She
Knock the door. How are you doing? You know how to do or not?
let me teach you. I show you. no. So she ever told me once that like, cause she was working then, so she told me like, if you have kids, I'll quit my job and take care for you. Then
That's quite love.
it is. I mean, now obviously I think, wow, damn appreciated. Like I'm appreciative of it because it really require her help. But at that time when we just got married, I thought it was like I don't think she meant to pressure me.
Okay.
But I felt like, oh, you know, that's what they want, and obviously they are hoping for it to happen soon.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I think it kind of like give you that a little bit of pressure of when we should do it. I mean, when we should have a kid. Thankfully, I wanted kids, so I didn't feel like I was super pressured by it.
But if that same thing was said to
somebody who doesn't want
yes,
kids, then you would have been a different story.
Could be. So it all depends on that person,
What they want.
then how. Then that same few words can come across very differently.
Yes. Then when I had my first one, about 3 years later, 2 years actually, then she start asking.
When?
Yeah, second one, hurry up, you're not later too old, then it'll be too tiring for you. You must hurry do it if you want it, blah blah blah. And so that was quite pressurizing because I didn't have the intention of having a second one so soon.
Okay.
But you did.
I mean, I did eventually because I still wanted, just not so soon.
Third one coming up?
Stop pressurizing me. So I had to be. So now that I had my second one, even though she still mentioned it, but every single time I tell her, no, done, that's it. So I had to like drive that point close to her so that eventually she would understand.
Why not the third
end.
one? Is it because of finance or?
No, it's just no energy anymore.
There's no energy.
I don't think my body can keep up with the third one. It'll be unfair for the third one. I'll be like, throw him to the iPad, throw him to the phone, that kind, which I don't want that to happen.
When you have number 3, you are outnumbered.
Outnumbered?
Because one husband take care of one, then your wife take care of the other one.
Okay, that is
Right.
my understanding of outnumber is slightly different.
Oh, why?
Why?
It just picture of a fight, then like 3 whack me.
2 versus 1.
Oh,
It could be,
when
it
they
could
have a
be.
meltdown, and then if one have a meltdown, then influence the other one, then 2 together, you know.
Yeah.
At least you have 2 adults to control 2 kids.
Or if your husband also kind of melt down with you, then you got 3 against you.
So number 3 would be quite really like, it will tip the scales lah.
Yeah.
But would you, Alicia, have?
Yeah, you wanted 4, right?
I thought you wanted a soccer team.
I wanted 4. That was the plan. I wanted 4.
Right.
Then I managed to negotiate to 3. So
Okay.
now after 2, I'm thinking, no need much negotiation lah. I'm quite like flat out myself. I think like what Yvonne said, it's very time consuming. Like just now all the points that we mentioned about food, about education, about playing with them. There's just so many hours in a day that you can do that. Yeah, so now I have a 4-year-old. I feel like I'm already having difficulty to keep up with one.
Right.
Then knowing that the 2-year-old, I would very soon have to give that same amount of attention, then I cannot imagine I have another third one.
Right.
I've seen mothers do that lah.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
Right.
I just don't think I can do it. Not at this point.
Yep.
All the
agree.
effort and everything that
And I
brings
think
us.
financially also would be a pain.
Right.
I
It's
mean,
quite tall lah.
it is very
Yeah.
tall. I think nowadays, even with all the subsidies and whatnot, then you still have to pay quite a fair bit. If you go holiday, you times 3, times 4. It's not just
it's
yourself anymore. And then that will take a toll on your own life when you're older. So I always imagine myself when I'm 55, 60, I want to make sure that I'm done with the kids. Then I can go and enjoy my own life.
Yeah.
But if you have 3, 4, then you're just dragging the years, right? Then you end up having less for yourself in future.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so-
think older people do that because there was a certain expectation that the kids will look after them when they're older. That's why they don't mind having a little bit
More.
more.
That's true.
But I feel that has changed in the last few years. People are more focused on like themselves. They have to make sure they got everything settled. I mean, the cost of living has also gone
Yeah,
up, so it's also in that
definitely.
sense not very fair
Right.
to place that burden
On
on,
the
the
kids. Right.
So with that in mind, we need that resources to
Care for yourself
Yeah.
as parents.
So how have both of your finances changed before and after being a mom?
Okay, so before that, because you had all the time, right? Just you and your partner or you and your friends, then you could go on holidays anytime you want.
It's true.
Right? I mean, aside from work commitments, then anytime you want, you just pack up and go. And then at the same time, even though you do that, but your savings doesn't deplete, like you could still save quite a huge amount of money,
Yeah.
right? Which then of course you'll be more happier. I mean, you'll be happier to travel because you know it doesn't affect your lifestyle. But now with kids, I think they really eat into your disposable income.
Yeah.
Like significantly. So
What do you
that is
spend on generally?
School fees.
Okay.
So right, I mean we have a whole wide range of different school fees from like few hundreds to like 2,000
Right.
or 3,000. Right, and then you have, I don't know, their daily needs. They're just their basic necessities, food, and then
Diapers.
all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you? Do you spend on anything more extra?
So I think what you spend on changed. So meaning you spend the same amount, but instead of spending on yourself, you spend on your kids. So
You spent quite a bit last time.
you have the freedom. And just now you say when the time to go on holiday, you
Right.
can also go on holiday anytime you want.
Right.
Now if you want to take your kids with you, if you don't want to take your kids with you, you have to look for help
Right.
to look after your kids. If you want to take your kids with you, you spend a whole lot more money.
Yeah.
And then it's not like you can do the backpack style. How to backpack if you have 2 young kids with you? I mean, again, some people can do it, but I look at myself and I feel like I cannot do it.
Okay, you're never the backpack style to begin with. How do you expect your kids to backpack with you?
Exactly. And I think another point is now more and more people are also thinking like a little bit further, not just the expenses now.
Yeah.
Current school fees, living expenses. I think as like when we meet people and when we plan, there's an increasing number of people who are looking to save for their kids' education, to plan. I think money, right, works. Like in especially for a dual income family, usually there's enough money and everything, but everything needs careful planning.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Totally agree.
yeah, with that in mind, then I do see more people planning towards education lah. And it may not have been that important to the older generation.
Right.
Like I bet like for us, most of us had to find our own
Money
funds,
to
to fund our
finance,
tertiary
yeah.
education.
Right.
Yeah.
But now more parents are hoping to build that foundation for their children.
Agree.
I recently had a friend, that just got a kid. So it becomes so stressful on where's the money is coming out. Then we have a lot of, what is that called? Void deck talks. Yeah. So the husband is also my friend. So imagine I talk to the female, I talk to the male.
Yeah.
Like in the same void deck but different days. It's very funny. Like can you all like one time like talk to each other? Like the finances is so stressed for the husband that the wanted a choice of government hospital during giving birth because they just got a new house and
The
whatnot.
struggles are real,
Yeah.
the limitations are real for
Yeah,
sure.
so like because he knows that I have a lot of clients and I'm planning for myself as well. So I shared with them my experience as a friend lah. So like how they can manage it through. Actually, if my friend, which is the female, is alright with government hospital, if they plan earlier, they can chosen the choice that they like.
Right.
Yeah. So as a guy, as a husband, I think we should respect our wife's choice lah. Okay. So it's Mother's Day. So yeah. Your mother give birth to you in a government hospital or a private hospital. It's not easy lah. I mean, yeah, you want them to have the best treatment. So okay, going back to the point, like with this kind of experience, I plan better for my wife lah. So I'm a good husband. So I just want to say I'm a good husband.
Yes.
Yeah, you just like
good
said,
husband.
He subtly just want to
Yeah. Please cut it off.
But I have to agree, I mean, because I started the career very early, right? When I was in my 20s, like early 20s. So I met a lot of clients who were then in their 30s going to have kids and family, and also parents who are already having children. So I was looking at real numbers of what they had to spend and how they're gonna like manage their savings, plus planning for a lot of other things, not just like their kids, right? There are a lot of other things you got to pay for in life. So that gives me an advantage because I see what are the real numbers, and then when it comes to my turn, I know what is required of me and my family or my spouse.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think with being where we are, kind of lucky where we are, and then with all the tools that we have and all the knowledge that our bosses are feeding us, right? Then we have a better overview of what's required. Yeah, and then I think at the end of the day, it still boils down to really spending within your own means.
Yep.
Right? I mean, there's no point arguing about government, private, if you cannot afford. Then there's just gonna be countless arguments.
Yeah.
Going round and round in circles.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to have more choices, then you plan
Speak to
earlier.
us.
But for Shami and you, given that you are the furthest from that life stage, right? What does all this mean to you?
I guess it also being in this career allows me to plan for myself better, because speaking to people that are older also allows me to know, like, okay, this is something that I need to prepare for myself, even though I am not at that stage yet. So I guess it gives me more insight. Like people already reached that stage, whereas I'm not there. So it gives me like more time to prepare. Okay. So I guess it's not really a stepping stone, but more of
Being prepared earlier.
Yes.
Being more well prepared.
So based on both of your experience, how can you like share with the audience out there, or rather mummies out there, on how they can finance or rather like plan ahead?
I feel every family has their own financial, like their own means, their own standard of living. There's no like right and wrong. I could be in a family like my I don't come from a very well-to-do family. We never take holidays until I was old enough to earn and then go holiday on myself. But I've never blamed my parents for not providing me that experience. And I mean, same. I never had like piano classes and whatnot, even though I really wanted. Right. So I think there's no right and wrong. It's all about planning within your own means, and it has to be something you and your partner are in sync with. I think that is the most important, because if let's say you are the mom that wants Montessori, you want like very good enrichment classes every weekend kind, then your husband is not. Then of course in terms of finances you would quarrel, right? So I think you have to be in line with what your husband or your wife wants, and then spend within your means. So there's no point comparing with people around you. Like added stress to yourself equals to added stress to your kids, right? Quarrel with a family at home is also added stress to the kids, right? So I think it's all about spending within your own means and then deciding what is priority to you. So it's about whether maybe I spend less here but I put more there, that kind of thing.
When do you start discussing with your partner about this?
Recently.
Recently?
Bad example. We
Well,
only really discussed recently.
Only when the time comes.
Exactly.
Only when the time comes, as in like you have, like you know you are pregnant.
No, not even that. When you find out that you're pregnant, you're just concerned about like whether baby healthy, which gynae to see, which hospital is
Yes,
good.
yes, yes,
But
yes.
concern at that point in
yes, but in
time.
terms of like which school to send to, it was just really just before like, oh, it's time already, then
Right.
then you consider.
Okay.
Oh, I'm pretty different. Okay, so I'm just married, so I don't have kids yet lah. So I plan quite a bit, you know. I plan quite a bit like one kid need how much living expenses. Then just don't talk about so far when they grow up. We just talk about the pregnant process, right? How much is the conceive? Is that what they call delivery fees? Staying in the hospital, finding like someone to massage to recover faster. I mean, ultimately she's my wife. You know, you want the best.
My husband never thought of it that way there.
I'm not kiasu lah. Okay,
So you
I
already
put the
planned
blame.
ahead.
Yeah, I of course this planning is like communicated with my wife. So like because I hear from my friends, I know there's options out there.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that people around me are all pregnant. Okay, all married,
Yeah.
or they had their kids earlier. So when I ask them, they say, I hope I have. Apparently the hope, all I write down, I ask my wife. Then
Everything.
we discuss lah. So if she wants everything, we have to save up, put a bit now, so when it happens, we have enough for
Right.
whatever that is
Right.
needed.
I think that's very good planning. I didn't lah. I definitely didn't. It was just, when it comes, okay, then do
At
this.
that point in time.
But I
when
guess
you
because
decide.
we had proper saving when we were
Yeah.
single.
Probably.
Yeah,
I think
like
I'm
you
just more
save enough.
kiasu, and I believe you all have more savings compared to me. I just get my house, my savings depleted quite a bit. It's pretty normal to plan nowadays.
Maybe
But
young
after
people plan more these days.
speaking to you guys, I think I'm just very, 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 very
Yeah.
kiasu. Do you ever thought about like getting, okay, so you are single, right? Have you ever thought like marriage need? What is the cost?
No, to be honest.
Okay, it's just me, guys.
No, but I have clients who are younger. Every time when we ask, like I ask, when do I have kids and all that, their answer is it's very standard. They're like, I want to make sure I have enough financial capacity before I have kids because all this, it requires money.
Yeah.
But they actually really thought through the process. I mean, how detailed I don't know, but they know they have to save a certain amount of money first, then they do that. But for myself, I didn't.
Let it go with the
I just
flow.
go with the flow, and then somehow it just happened. Like even for wedding, somehow buffer around that. Okay, that's it. I didn't go into the detail of calculating, but I think the younger generation these days are doing that, the very meticulous
The
counting, the budgeting, which is good. I think which is good.
I think the last thing that all parents want to do is having financial stress to their kids. We want to provide them the best lah, since we are more educated at.
You mean financial freedom for the kids?
I won't say financial freedom. At least we have an option. Like we have the option to send our kids to uni. Okay, in case if they don't get scholarship, which we all hope that our kid in the future will
That's
get.
such high expectations.
So yeah, like these kind of things. So like they are at the growing up stage, mine haven't even popped up in a single CM yet. So I think this planning gives us more options in life.
Naturally. I think definitely having kids, you spend more, but I don't think it's impossible if you plan properly.
Right.
So like even Glenn, he says that wow, he looked through all the costs and everything. I think it's good even the younger people that we meet and even Glenn, at least you know what is expected of you. And then just now you mentioned about spending within your means.
Right.
I think these are not exactly targeted at motherhood, having children. Just spending within your means is
Natural.
Yeah.
Something
just
everybody
natural.
have to do.
Yeah. If you take as raising your kids, having kids is like buying something, then it's all well. Everybody would want to drive a sports car going very fast, but how many people can actually afford a sports car? It's all depends, like, you have to plan properly, spend within your means. A normal car would get you from point A to point B. A school will still get your kid to primary school, you know, that kind of thing.
So that's all for today's podcast. I think after today, we can all better appreciate what mothers go through and why it's important to celebrate them and continue to love them. Also, remember to like, subscribe, and tell us how you're celebrating Mother's Day this year.